Hey, welcome everyone. We're a little slow getting started this morning, but stay with us. Let me set everything up. Awesome. All right. We got the sun rising behind us. I invite you to come to the top of your mat, finding your feet. From your feet, finding your legs. Relax shoulders tall through the crown. A slight tuck of the chin. I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart. Starting our practice this morning, just watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out, arriving here on our yoga mats, ready for a morning yoga practice. From this place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath as you find a long, slow inhalation, matched by a long, slow exhalation. As you breathe in, I'll invite you to find a full body breath, bringing the air to the top of the chest, the base of the belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. As you breathe out, I'll invite you to draw the low belly in and up, concurrently lifting the kidneys in and up, squeezing a place between the hips and the ribs from all sides, like squeezing a tube of toothpaste from all sides, squeezing a little more air out, a little more toothpaste out. Also providing structural support for our low back as we move through these shapes and these sequences. To this deeper, fuller breath, moving towards the Ujjayi breath, go-to breath in many flow practices, a slight constriction of the base of your throat to add a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as we flow through our practice this morning, letting the sound and feel of your breath be a focus for your practice, often compared to the sound of the waves of the ocean as the waves wash in and as the waves wash out. To this Ujjayi or ocean breath, finding Jiva Bandha, tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind the teeth, trying to keep that tongue loop throughout the practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. And finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, I'll invite you to open your eyes if you closed your eyes, hands by your side. Keeping it simple, warming up our shoulders as we inhale the arms up and over the head. And then exhale, arms down. 2 more times like this. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. Adding a forward fold. Inhaling, arms up. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to find length as you lift chin and tail. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up, arms up and over the head. On the exhale, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Inhaling, arms up and over the head. On the exhale, folding. Inhaling, finding length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more to go here. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun salutation A. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Inhaling, finding length. And then on the exhale, finding your down dog and holding. And if you want to go do vinyasa, go for it. I'm not going to cue it. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to walk the dog from side to side, bending one leg deeply and then the other. Stretching it out, seeing how your bodies feel this morning. What feels tight, what feels right, what feels somewhere in between. Welcome, Kathy Cormier. Shut this. Feel free to walk that dog, Kathy. Stretching it out. Nice. From this place of movement, I'll invite you to move back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep, full breath. Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between the hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, hands over head pose. Exhaling, standing tall. Hands by your side. Second one, just like the first. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Inhaling, finding length. On the exhale, folding again. Grounding on down, planting one hand and then the other. Making your way back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Back and holding. Kathy, why don't you talk us through the third one here? So, yeah, the mat's not too bad, please. So holding your down dog, and I'll let you talk our folks through our third sun cell.
Oh. So, we are in downward dog. And now we're moving to plank pose. Holding plank for a moment. Inhale to cobra or upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. We're holding downward dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to make our way to the front of the mats. You can either step forward or you can take a jump forward. If you take a jump forward, you're just going to press really hard into your hands and just move your butt up and then just jump like that, like a little leap. You're going to inhale to find length and then exhale back down to forward fold. You're going to press your feet strongly into the ground and inhale up and exhale hands to your side. Let's do one more sun salutation A. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to get some length and then exhale down again. And when you exhale down, really feel the back of your thighs rise up into your backside and keep pressing down on your feet. Inhale, rise. And now we're going to go make our way back to downward dog. You can just go straight back to downward dog, or you can go through the sun salutation. So we're going to go down to the ground. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale back to downward dog. We're going to hold downward dog for just a few breaths. When you're in your downward dog, there's a few things you can do to make the pose a little stronger. You can press on your hands, press down on your hands and really feel the space between your thumb and your forefinger. And you can use their pinky fingers kind of as a brace. Feels like you're really pushing into the ground with your hands. And at the same time, you can push your feet into the ground. You can bend your knees a little bit. And bring your backside up a little bit. And just keep holding and pressing for a couple more breaths. And now we're going to make our way back to the front of our mat. You can either step forward or you can jump forward. I'll step forward this time. Inhale, rise up a little bit, and exhale back down to a forward fold. And maybe after this forward fold, you're feeling a little more of a stretch. So you can bend one knee, and then the other knee, and keep your knees bent a little bit. You want to feel nice and loose in your back. You don't want to feel too tight. And now I'm going to inhale up. And exhale back down. Pound your feet together a little bit. And rise up. And exhale back down.
Where are you in the sequence, Gav?
I added just an extra sun salutation A.
All right, let's move to Sun Sal B.
Sounds good.
Knees over toes, hands overhead, finding your tree, your powerful pose, your Utkatasana. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, glutes engaged to support a back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. From this place, grounding on down, making your way back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Shoulder blades back and down on the up dog, awesome. And then grounding on down as you stretch it on back. From down dog, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, finding a three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. High on the left toes. Now looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through. Spinning the right heel down, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head for your warrior one. And then on the exhale, riding the breath back down to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. From down dog, second side, other leg high. High on the other toes, finding that three-legged dog. And then looking between the hands, sweeping that foot on through. Spinning the back heel down, back leg long, back leg strong. Arms up and over the head for your warrior one. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge, spinning back heel up, and then from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. As you hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in, and as your Ujjayi breath flows out. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, looking between your hands as you step. Or take a jump front. Beautiful jump. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, hands over head pose, arms up and over the head. Finding your chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. And now standing tall, flat back, hands by your side. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar B. Inhaling into your chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Inhaling, finding length as you arc the back. On the exhale, folding again. Grounding on down and making your way back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Yogi's choice. We'll add the hip opener. Flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes, keeping that right shoulder just as it is. Lifted leg straight as you stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. And now looking between the hands, sweeping that foot on through. Spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head for your warrior one. And then riding the exhale back down to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. And again, take your time, find your flow. From down dog, second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, left leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the right toes, keeping that left shoulder right where it is, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip, awesome. And then looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through. Spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head for your warrior one. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. And again, take your time. Finding your flow. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to your hands. Lots of space between each finger. Grounding down a little bit more between the thumb and the forefinger as we draw the energy up the inseams of the arms. Shoulders engaged, either keeping your neck relaxed and your head heavy or long through all sides of the neck as you look back towards your navel. Long, smooth breaths in. Long, smooth breaths out. From down dog, tail end of a breath, bending the knees ever so slightly to lift your tailbone a little bit higher, a little more space in the low back. And then from that place, either stepping or jumping to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding again. On the inhale, back to our chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it a little bit lower. On the inhale, rising on up, a little back bend at the top, open heart, open throat. And then on the exhale, neutral spine, hands by your side. From here, I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, a slight tuck of the chin, shoulders relaxed as we refocus our attention inward. And then lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by our side, as we step or jump it out, hip width apart. On the inhale, we'll bring the arms up to one side. On the exhale, we'll cross the hands in front, giving our wrists a little flick. And then switching across. And we'll do 6 of these. Couple more each way. One more each side. And then back up. Let's jump it in thin like a pin. Sun Salutation C, an extended standing pose sequence. Finding our chair pose, inhaling. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out. Back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Let your breath make that call. From down dog, we'll do that same hip opening sequence. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes. Keeping that right shoulder just as it is. Lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. Awesome. And then looking between the hands as you sweep that right foot on through. Spinning the back heel down. Arms up and over the head for our warrior one. In warrior one, I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips, shifting the weight onto the front foot as we lengthen our stance. From here, steering the hips front, back hip front, front hip back. Now 4 fingers find the tip of the thumb, and we try to touch the front of our wrist, stretching out the back of our wrists. And then bringing those bird beaks onto our shoulders to relax the shoulders and square the heart front. Now finding a clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart and throat chakra. And then keeping that sense of space in heart and throat chakra as we stretch those hands high to the sky. Long through both side waists. Awesome, beautiful. Lifting the chin, opening that throat chakra. So, so good. From here, straightening the front leg without locking the knee as we gather up the energy. On the exhale, cactus arms as we offer it out. And let's do that a few times. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We got 3 more to go. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 2, breathing in, breathing out. Last 1, breathing in, breathing out, and holding cactus arms. The elbows move back, the hands come with, rippling those fingers. Awesome, beautiful. From Warrior 1, we'll turn it into Warrior 2 as we serve hands to heart. We open up the hips. You might kick the back foot in just a little bit for a little bit of a narrower stance. And then finding that one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with that steady yet relaxed gaze. From here, painting rainbows, palm faces back, straightening the front leg. Inhaling, find that reverse warrior, that's it. And then back to our Warrior 2. And let's do that a few times. Breathing in, painting that rainbow. Exhaling back to Warrior 2. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling back. We're halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last one here. Finding your reverse warrior and holding. Reaching up a little higher. Reaching down a little further. Feel that stretch. And then back to your Warrior 2. From here, moving towards the Rainbow Warrior, a clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down, open heart and throat chakra, and then keeping that openness as you find a forward fold. Relaxed neck, heavy, heavy head. As you draw the hands up and off the back, feel the stretch. As we hold the Rainbow Warrior up, invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders, and letting it drain down through the crown of the head, into the earth. Now in our Rainbow Warrior, I'll suggest a strong tuck of the chin as you bring it on up. Now lifting the chin tall through the crown as you come back to your Warrior 2. And Kathy, can you go sideways here on the demo? And just make sure you're still in frame. Yeah. Hopefully don't slip. Thumb and forefinger, we're going to transition to the triangle. Thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base of rib. You want to deepen that crease and lengthen those ribs as you straighten that front leg without locking the knee. Placing bottom hand down in an appropriate place. We can use that other hand to open up top shoulder and then stretching hand high to the sky, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky with that mixture of effort and ease. As we hold the shape with every breath in, breathing into your center of balance. With every breath out, sending energy out through both legs, both arms, both ends of the spine, as you make yourself bigger in space from the inside out. Now in our triangle, exploring that lateral top line, as we exhale that top hand front, turning our heart to the ground. On the inhale, lifting hand high as we spin heart to sky. And let's do that a few times. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. We're halfway done. Exhale and inhale. Last 2. Exhale and inhale. Last 1. Exhale and hold as we reach. Back leg long, back leg strong. Long through that side waist, long through the arms, long through the fingers. I'll invite you to ripple those fingers, keeping your hands supple. And now push-ups for our side waist. The bottom hand joins, pure side motion. We inhale it up and exhale it over. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Exhale it over. We're halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last one coming up. Breathing in. Breathing out and holding as we reach. Feel the stretch. Huh?
The lights are too hot.
Lights are too hot for you?
Right here.
Now from here we have a choice, even moving towards our triangle again, or moving towards a half moon. As we bring hand to hip, we take a big step in. I'll suggest setting the base with 2 hands on the floor, and then shifting the weight into front foot in 2 hands as we lift that back leg. That second hand can stay down, our hand finds the hip. Maybe we stretch that hand high to the sky. Deep, full breaths. And again, as we hold the shape, breathing into your center of balance. And then from that place, through 2 arms, 2 legs, both ends of the spine, expanding yourself in space, connecting the very center of yourself to the very periphery of the universe. I'll cue a short dismount. Hand finds the hip. We land a short stance as we shift the weight into our feet, coming on up. And then coming back to our warrior 2 as we lengthen our stance. And then you can face front again here. And then I'll suggest a big windmill of the arms as you cycle through vinyasa or not. Deep, full breaths. And again, as we hold our down dog, bringing your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in and as your Ujjayi breath flows out. So sneak in a prone back bending set here. I'll invite you to come forward to plank pose and holding the plank for 3 long, slow breaths. As we hold the plank, feel the crown of your head stretching front. Feel your heels stretching back. And then from the plank, let's work a long, slow push-up all the way down. Elbows shave ribs, yoga style. When we get down, I'll suggest a cross of the forearms, forehead heavy on forearms as we rest and relax on our mat. Great place to connect with your body. Your body has no choice but to rise and fall as you breathe. From the crocodile, moving towards Sphinx pose as we bring elbows under shoulders, shoulder blades back and down as our hips heavy into the mat. As we hold the Sphinx, I'll invite you to warm up your low back as you gently rock it from hip point to hip point. Now adding a little swing of the shoulders, a little sway of the head as we connect the crown of our head to the base of our spine. And then back to center. Ears in line with shoulders, ears and shoulders in line with hips. As we melt the back of our heart. From here, moving towards forearm plank as we tuck the toes, lifting the thighs, drawing the navel in and up, and then reconnecting the head, the hips, and the heels. Again, as we hold this forearm plank, feeling the crown of your head stretching front, your heels stretching back. Again, long through both side waists. And despite the effort of your actions, still finding an easeful quality to your breath. Now coming down easefully as we land the knees lightly, unfurling the feet, landing those hips lightly, coming back to the Sphinx. And then pulling back with your hands to lengthen front heart. And then switching the cross of the arms and letting yourself be super, super, super heavy on the floor. Again, just connecting with the rise and fall of your body as you breathe. Almost like being on a surfboard or a pool float. From here, let's move towards the grasshopper as we ground down through the chin, hands by our hips, the palms face up. We can start by lifting head and heart. From this place, pressing into the back of the hands to lift the legs. Now lifting the hands as we fly through the air. As we hold the grasshopper again, feel the crown of your head stretching front, your toes stretching back, fingers try to touch those toes, shoulders draw away from the ears. One more breath here. And then coming back down to the ground, turning your head to one side, and just letting yourself be super, super heavy as we rest and relax on the floor. Now turning your head the other way, and despite the fact this is probably not your more comfortable side, still trying to find a place of ease as we rest and relax here for another breath or two. From here, let's work the same pose pretty much like the grasshopper, but the arms are an extension, so grounding down through the chin, arms long in front. We're moving towards the super person here. Before we lift up, just treating yourself to a full body stretch on the floor, scooting those fingers front, scooting those toes back. From here, lifting head and heart. Now pressing into the hands to lift the legs. Now lifting the arms as we fly through the air. We're going to hold it in stillness pretty much. Crown of the head stretches front, toes stretch back, fingers try to touch the front wall. And despite that action, still drawing the shoulders away from the ears as we get longer through all sides of the neck. From the super person, sweeping the hands back towards the hips, the palms face up. And then coming all the way down onto the ground as you take your head to that less familiar side first. And just being super, super heavy as we rest and relax on the floor. Now turning your head the other way. And probably this is your more comfortable side. And just reveling in the easefulness of your action. From here, let's move towards an inchworm as we bring hands under shoulders, grounding down through the chin. The knees and chin stay down, but we lift the hips up for that inchworm. And we want to keep the hips lifting the whole time as we press hard into the hands, rocking horse push-up, the knees stay down. And then settling your stomach between your thighs as you find your child's pose. As we hold the child's pose, letting your belly massage your thighs as you breathe in. Letting your thighs massage your belly as you breathe out. Feeling a big ball of warmth in the very center of yourself. In the child's pose, keeping hips and heels just as they are as you walk your hands to one side, stretching far hip to far heel. Yeah, maybe a little bit more with the shoulders even. Yeah, there you go. Now walking hands through center and finding that side bend the other way. Yeah, just feel that stretch. Now walking hands center, coming back to an all-fours position on your mat. From here, let's start that cat camel. Why don't you go sideways here for the demo? Yeah, there you go. Starting the cat camel combo. Breathing in, lifting chin and tail as we arc the back. On the exhale, tucking tail and chin as we round the spine. So really work the action here. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, rounding it in. One more time like this. Breathing in, lifting it up. Exhaling, rounding it in. Throwing a child's pose into the mix. Breathing in, lifting up. On the exhale, rounding the spine. Sits bones back to the heels. That's it. Inhaling, coming back up, finding the arc. On the exhale, drawing it back as we find the arch. One more time. Breathing in, lifting it up. Exhaling, drawing it back. Adding diagonals. Inhaling, coming up center. On the exhale, drawing it back towards one heel. On the inhale, coming up center. On the exhale, finding that other heel. Two more times each side. Inhaling up center. Exhaling, drawing it back. Inhaling up center. Exhaling, taking it back. One more time each side. Inhaling up. Exhaling, drawing it back. Inhaling up. Exhaling, drawing it back. And then coming back to an all-fours formation on your mat. We'll get to our down dog with the cat dog stretch. Breathing in, lifting chin and tail. And now tucking the toes, tucking tail, tucking chin, rounding the spine, hips high, high, high. And then as you find your flat back or neutral spine, pushing into the hands as you stretch those heels down. Again, from this place, I'll invite you to walk the dog as you bend one leg deeply and then the other, stretching it out. How does your body feel this morning? What feels tight? What feels right? What feels somewhere in between? And then either holding this place of movement or generating more tapas or heat as you cycle through vinyasa. And vinyasa just means connected movement through space. Doesn't always have to be the push-up. Doesn't always have to be the back bend. Doesn't always have to be drawing it back to down dog. And that's the classic vinyasa. But you might just find a plank pose, hold that for a breath or two, and then draw it on back. Deep, full breaths. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone a little bit higher. Awesome. And then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump from. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding and holding. I'll invite you to toe heel the feet wide as we catch opposite elbows and gently swinging yourself from side to side. Now switching the cross of the elbows, keep swinging it from side to side. And then back to center. I'll invite you to release the elbows, bringing hands to thighs. A strong tuck of the chin as we roll it all the way up. Lifting the chin tall to the crown. Feel free to do this with me as we take the measure of our bodies. Ears over shoulders. Ears and shoulders over hips. Ears, shoulders, hips over heels as we stand tall and breathe. From here, let's step or jump it in thin like a pin. Bringing hands to heart, a light press of your thumb against your sternum as we line up each finger. This time adding an isometric engagement as we press the palms together, elbows out to the side, shoulders engaged, a tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin as we connect with the strength of our center. And then hands by our side. Let's jump it back out, hip width apart. This time on the inhale, we're going to bring the arms up to one side. On the exhale, we'll pass the hands through center and give our wrists a little flick. And then other side. And we'll do 6. Short, sharp exhalations if you choose. We're halfway done. 2 more each way. 1 more each side. And then back up. Hands by our side as we jump it back in, thin like a pin. Finding our chair pose, knees over toes, hands over head. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, glutes engaged to support the back bend at the top. And then on the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length as you lift chin and tail. And then on the exhale, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. And I'll give you a few breaths to do that. From down dog, second side on the standing sequence. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Keeping that left shoulder just as it is, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, bringing that left foot through, spinning the right heel down, arms up and over the head for our warrior 1. In our warrior 1, I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips, shifting the weight onto the front foot as we lengthen our stance. From here, we can use those hands on hips to steer our hips front. Now 4 fingers find the tip of the thumb, stretching out our wrists as you try to touch the front of our wrists. Keeping those bird beak fingers, we'll bring hands onto shoulders to relax the shoulders and square the heart front. Now finding the other clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart and throat chakra. And then keeping that sense of space in heart and throat chakra as we stretch those hands high to the sky. Awesome. As we hold the stretch, back leg long, back leg strong, long through each side waist, long through those arms, long through those fingers. From here, with the breath, straightening the front leg without locking the knee as we gather up the energy. On the exhale, cactus arms as we offer it out. And let's do that a few times, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 2, breathing in, breathing out. Last 1, breathing in, Breathing out in, holding. The elbows move back, the hands come with, rippling those fingers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now turning warrior 1 into warrior 2 as hands find the heart, we open up the hips. You might kick the back foot in just a tad for a narrower stance. And then finding one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with that steady yet relaxed gaze. Call it my taxi cab driver look. No nonsense, but in a friendly way. From here, painting rainbows, straightening the front leg without locking the knee, finding that reverse warrior. The palm faces back, that's it. Yeah, it's just going to go up and over. And then back to our warrior 2. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last one, breathing in and holding that reverse warrior. Reaching up a little higher, reaching down a little further. Feel that stretch on that lateral front line. Breathing into that stretch. And then back to your warrior 2. From here, finding the rainbow warrior, that other clasp with the fingers behind the head, shoulder blades back and down onto rib shelf, open heart and throat chakra. And then challenging your balance as you add that forward fold inside the front leg. And then letting the spine round as you draw the hands up and over the head. Relax shoulders, drawing the shoulders up and back towards the hips as you relax the neck and heavy the head. As we hold the shape, adding a little swing, a little sway, just releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders. And then letting that tension drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. Really feel your feet in this pose. It's going to help with the balance. From our rainbow warrior, I'll suggest a strong tuck of the chin as we bring it on up. Lifting the chin tall through the crown as we come back to our warrior 2. I want you to go sideways for the demo here. I'm going to turn warrior 2. No big deal. Yeah. We're going to turn warrior 2 into the triangle. Thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base of rib. Deepening that crease, lengthening those ribs. Straightening the front leg without locking the knee. Grounding bottom hand down in an appropriate place. Top hand opens up top shoulder. We stretch that hand high to the sky, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up past those top fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. As we hold the shape with every breath in, breathing into your center of balance, about 3 fingers below the navel. With every breath out from that place, sending energy out through 2 legs, 2 arms, both ends of the spine. Connecting the very center of yourself to the periphery of the universe. Maybe give that star a little tickle. The sun's like right where your hand is. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now exploring that lateral top line. As we exhale that top hand front, turning our heart to the floor. On the inhale, lifting hand high as we spin heart to sky. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. We're halfway done. Exhale and inhale. Last 2. Exhale and inhale. Last 1. Exhale and hold as we reach. Back leg long, back leg strong, long to that torso, the arm, the fingers, rippling those fingers. Feels so good. Now the bottom hand joins, pure side motion, no twist to the torso. We breathe 2 hands up and exhale it over. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Exhale it over. We've got 3 more to go. Breathing in, lifting it up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Exhale it over. We got 1 more to go. Breathing it up. Exhale it over and hold as we reach. Long to both sideways. Those arms, those fingers, feel the stretch. And then yogi's choice, either back to the triangle or the triangle on 1 foot as you move towards your half moon. Hand finds the hip. We take a big step in. I'll invite you to set the base with a pair of hands. And take your time. From this place, shifting weight into front foot and 2 hands as we lift that back leg up. Second hand either stays on the floor or it finds the hip. From this place, we can use that hand to open up that shoulder. And then stretching hand high to the sky. And again, breathing into your center of balance. And from that place, sending energy out into the universe. And as always, keeping an easeful quality to your breath. I'll cue you through a short dismount here as hand finds the hip. We're going to ground that back foot down, shifting the weight into the feet, and then lengthening your stance as you shift that back foot back to your warrior two. And then from warrior two, a big windmill of the arms as you stretch out your shoulders, finding your low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. Yogi's choice. And I'll give you, at home, another breath or two to get there. From our down dog shape, I'll invite you to find a child's pose. As you land those knees lightly, sits bones back to the heels. Just nestling that belly between the thighs. Letting your thighs massage your belly as you breathe. Letting your belly massage your thighs. Connecting with that big ball of warmth in the very center of yourself. From the child's pose, I'll invite you to walk the hands back as you find a kneeling hero pose. The inner knees connect. One palm supports the other. Coming back to your breath. Relax shoulders, relax breath. From here, I'll invite you to find a clasp of the fingers, pressing the hands up to the sky, the palms face up. Feeling that length in each side waist, feeling those length through those arms. And then switching the clasp of the fingers, but bringing the fingers behind the back, stretching the shoulders away from the ears, open heart, open throat, and then keeping that heel to sits bone connection as you take a forward fold, hands up and over the head. From here, a tuck of the chin as you bring it on up, releasing the clasp of the fingers. Again, one palm supports the other, finding your breath. And then from this place, I'll invite you to bring your feet off to one side, slowly coming down onto your back. And take your time and just setting yourself up for your Shavasana. Yeah, make sure you got some space. Tip of the tongue is now neutral in the mouth. A slight part to the lips, but still breathing in and out through your nose. Doing whatever else feels right and good for you this morning. And we won't be here too long. I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. I'll invite you to move your mind before you move your body, bringing your attention back to your breath, watching as it flows in and out. Now shaping your breath with a long, slow inhalation, followed by an even longer, slower exhalation, as we find a more relaxing breath, letting those longer exhalations release any unnecessary tension into the universe. Now rippling fingers and toes as we invite more circulation into our bodies. And inviting that circulation in towards center as we gently circle wrists and ankles. A little shimmy of the shoulders, a little shake of the hips, connecting with our own innate sense as to what feels right and good for us, right here, right now. From this place, drawing one knee in and the other into the heart as the hands catch the shins, using your thighs to massage your low belly as you gently lift and lower the low back and hips. Any other movement that feels right and good for you, go for it. Circling the hips, maybe one leg and then the other. And then I'll invite you to reach back with your hands to lift and tuck the chin. Hands come back to the shins. We start to rock it up and back, until we pop up to find a cross-legged seat. as we hold our cross-legged seat, bringing the heels of our hands to our thighs, pushing the thighs away as we sit up a little straighter, a little taller. 5 fingers of one hand find the ground. The palm of the other hand faces the sky. A slight tuck of the chin, ending our practice as we started, watching as our breath flows in and watching as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me this morning.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank everybody for practicing with us at home. And we'll see you again real soon.